It's time for Say Yes to Life. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, guys, it's great to be with you. And, Dave, you are not fat. I don't want to hear that. You're very muscular. Let's put it on the record, okay? You are a strong man. But happy Fat Tuesday. It is a great day to, get ready for the Lenten season. And it's also my wife's birthday, actually. So, that's what we're celebrating here in the Range household. So if you would say a prayer for Laura, she's had a tough run of it lately. I mean, chasing after 5 kids, got some bad feet as she does that, and she's married to me. So all those things together.
Happy birthday, Laura.
Happy birthday, Laura.
Yeah,
happy birthday, Laura.
And
we all have our crosses to carry, Pete.
Some are fatter than others. So that's the opposite. But no. A couple stories I'm following this week, and this is not for the faint of heart, and I don't recommend that people go and actually look into the Epstein files. I mean, it is so disheartening and so dark. If you want a wake-up call to the reality that there is good and evil in this world, then go ahead and read them. If you're feeling just kind of like, I don't know if God exists, I don't know if evil is actually out there, trust me. I mean, you read this stuff, and it's absolutely disgusting and awful, and quite frankly, just demonic what's in the Epstein files as far as abuse of babies, children, young people. It's just disgusting. One of the things, from an abortion perspective, it's mentioned the word abortion over 280 times in the Epstein files, and one of the times was actually Epstein's own child. He got a 17-year-old pregnant, a result of sexual abuse and grooming. And then he gave this young girl $1,000. She asked for $400, but he gave her $1,000 in cash to basically go take care of the problem. He stuffed it in an envelope, like much of his payoffs, and she went to a local Planned Parenthood, and he basically paid for the destruction of his own child. And so, all sin ultimately leads to death, and certainly sexual sin, like lust, leads to death as well, and we see that in the Epstein files. And so just a reminder for all of us, we are waging war against some serious evil forces in the highest places of our government. And so for us to pray and be reminded that this is the purpose of Lent, so that we can form ourselves to Jesus Christ, we can be light to the world, which is in desperate need of Jesus' love and his truth and his healing, especially now. So I'm also, secondly, want to report, though, on some pro-life bills that are taking place kind of around the country, and heartened by the fact there are good people across the country that are working for the protection of innocent human life. And so in the Hawkeye State in Iowa, there is a bill that's moving forward, and it's going to try to restrict access to the abortion drug. So it's going to make it kind of illegal or block it from being shipped in or mailed into that particular state. Kentucky also has a similar bill that's in the works as well. These are, I think, positive pieces of legislation. You're not going to be able to block everything, but to make it illegal at the very least to ship these things in. So if it is caught, there can be prosecutions, especially with these companies trying to make money off of these things. Really, really important. And it keeps women from being coerced as well. So if men can get their hands on this, as the Toledo doctor stories we saw not too long ago, and they can take these pills and they can put them in women's drinks and so on and so forth, that they're just ordering them online. This is one way that we can track that, and then we can also bar that from happening anymore. The third story also covering this week and just paying close attention to from the University of Notre Dame. Thankfully, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, the head of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, Archbishop Paul Coakley of Oklahoma City, came out, and he actually also condemned the University of Notre Dame's decision to appoint a pro-abortion professor to lead one of its academic institutes. So very happy to see Archbishop Coakley come out in full support of Bishop Kevin Rhodes, who's the local bishop there in Indiana, who challenged Notre Dame to rectify the appointment of the professor who, quote, openly stands against Catholic teaching when it comes to the sanctity of life, in this case, protection of the unborn, end quote. So when we have our bishops stepping up and speaking loudly and proudly for the protection of innocent human life, I think that's the pathway we get back to a culture of life, is when our bishops lead as they're leading right now in this particular circumstance. So from Epstein to pro-life legislators fighting in different states against the evil we got going on, and then the reform of our Catholic institutions. All these are ways that we continue to fight for the culture of life. And want to give a last word of encouragement then, because I'd love to hear what you guys are doing for Lent. I'm still, I'm kind of a last-minute planner. My wife will, tell you about that, even when it comes to last-minute birthday gifts and things of that nature. And so Lent, I'm still kind of praying into what is the Lord calling me to kind of do. But my wife actually sent me a blog from Tyler Allen the other day. He writes a blog called St. Anthony's Tongue, and I highly recommend the blog. But he's talking about how we often walk into Lent trying to optimize ourselves. I'm going to give up X, Y, or Z so that I can, be healthier, or I'm going to read more. But sometimes you're spiritually exhausted even entering into Lent, and so you try to do too much when actually Christ is inviting us to really empty ourselves more than give up ourselves, if you will. So he writes that when Christ goes into the wilderness, he's not upgrading himself. He's not consenting, or he is rather consenting to emptiness. He allows himself to hunger. He steps into silence without applause or affirmation. The desert strips him of spectacle and leaves only desire for the Father and for the redemption of the world. End quote from Tyler Allen from St. Anthony's Tongue. So just a challenge, I think, for all of us as we enter in, we recognize all the evil that we are fighting. We don't necessarily have to do more, but we have to empty ourselves in such a way that it will aliven within us a fire, a burning desire for the Father and for the redemption of the world. So what is it that we do that's going to lead us to that? So let us be stripped so that we can be filled with all the fullness of God this Lent.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it, Pete. Love it.
Very true.
Yeah,
Emptying
I was praying the other night about what to do, and the Lord convicted me. He said, look, that moment between when something comes to your desk and you're supposed to respond to it, and that time that you wait to do it is when chaos sets in. Get rid of it. Respond more quickly. That's it. Just get rid of the chaos. And I went, well, that's pretty easy. But
I'm going to pepper you with emails, Dave.
There you go.
He's arranged. Thank you
there
so
goes
much.
the first day. Doggone it. It's already a mess.
Have a blessed day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pete. Happy birthday, Laura.
That's right.